Last night passing of the budget is economic consumer behavior expert, Assistant Professor Vili Abraham. Vili, Prime Minister Netanyahu claimed that the new budget will bring economic stability, lower inflation, and stop the rise in the cost of living. Will it do any of those things?
Well, the thing is that not too many details have been published about how they plan to do it. But if you look at the budget, it seems that too much is going to a smaller, a huge sum of the budget. Around 50% goes to the minority of the population. I have no problem with that. The problem is that the budget will be allocated without requiring, for example, yeshiva students to take core subjects like mathematics and English and science classes. And it's a problem because if you look at some economic estimates about what's going to happen if we don't have more of the religious sector employed, the cumulative effect on the GDP is going to be around $60 trillion over the next 3 or 4 decades. That's an incredible sum. And I think that we need to do something about that because if you look, you go into details, into the budget details. So the only thing that I see that, for example, there's a greater budget in comparison to 2022, if you look at the budget of the Educational Ministry, so it's a little bit higher. Regarding the other ones, I wasn't able to find data. It looks balanced overall, but if you look at the budget allocated to the Israeli Innovation Authority, it will decrease by 100 million shekels, and that will be a blow to the high-tech sector, which is the it's the most important aspect of the Israeli economy because it employs about 10% of the population. It brings in about 25% of the income tax. And it's especially critical today because it's so much more difficult to raise funds from investors. So you do need the support of the Innovation Authority, which is going to be decreased significantly.
Vili, 1 trillion shekels for the next 2 years. Is that enough of funding to be invested really in Israel's future?
Well, it really depends where you put the money. Again, unfortunately, if you look at the annual budget, which is around $138 billion, more than half of it will go fund, the Orthodox community and yeshivas. And I think that if you do, allocate so much money, first of all, I think it's not proportionate, right? And if you do fund so much of this population, I think that you at least have to do something to get them into the working industry. Because if they continue not working, they don't contribute anything to the economy. And in the long run, it will be both bad for them and for the overall population. And I am for integrating minority groups into the workforce, into academia. If I look at my department, I'm the head of a department. I do a lot to bring in Bedouins and to integrate Haredim. But the problem is that they come with very, very basic knowledge of English, mathematics. In most cases, it's lacking. And that's why it's very difficult to push them forward. And that's why we need to allocate more budget in order to bring them to the level of the general population as far as English is concerned and STEM subjects, science, technology, etc.
The thing is, as far as do they even want it? I mean, is there any interest in that? Or do they say, it's fine like this, earning what we earn, and that's all?
No, I do see a change. If you look at both Haredim and Bedouins, I was very surprised that Bedouin students who formerly would take a general BA degree, which is really doesn't give them any profession. Today, they come to me and they say, Vili, we would like to study high-tech marketing. We know what we want to do. We want to be social media managers. So I think that there is awareness, and I do see more and more students, both Haredim and Bedouin, integrated into the academia. But unfortunately, some of them drop out because they cannot survive in academic English courses, which are very difficult, or advanced, like calculus, advanced mathematics courses. So if we give them the basis, we'll be able to push them forward, integrate them into high-tech and to other industries in the economy.
Sounds like a great idea, Vili. Thank you so much for joining us today, and happy Shavuot.
Happy Shavuot.